This is for you, Pisces. Jupiter's retrograde voyage to the sign of Virgo during April of 2016 influences your 7th house of law and commitment, creates longings of past associations and bygone days, especially when it comes to your emotional or financial relationships, since these arenas of your life are very connected. They're hooked together. Now, Jupiter is known as the attribute of God the Father, found in Isaiah 63:16, "For thou art our Father, and Abraham hath not known us, and Israel hath been ignorant of us. Thou, O Lord, art our Father, our Redeemer, from everlasting is thy name." Now, Neptune continues in a direct transit through the sign of Pisces, your sign, all during the month of April. You will experience profound thoughts of indulgent behaviors in regards to your own self, your position in the grand scheme of things, also deeply within your own psychic awareness, because Pisces is very psychic. You will be tranquil in the manner in which you perceive of yourself and the choices you've made in the past. Remember, Pisces, that this transit, continuing direct, currently influences your 1st house of how you appear to others and how you perceive of yourself. So it's all about, we see the world through our own eyes and through our own gray matter, for that matter, through our own brains. We see everything as a reflection of our own self. Now, Neptune is known as the attribute of God, the deliverer, our salvation, found in Matthew 14:25, and in the 4th watch of the night, he came to them walking upon the sea. All right, now let's see how your ruling planets of Jupiter and Neptune affect you this month, Pisces. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Thank you for joining us. Your water guardian Archangel Gabrielle speaks through to you from your Pisces angel, who is your Zodiac angel Omnitziel. And the Archangel Gabrielle, this is the 3-dimensional representation. It's a 3-dimensional Merkaba field. Merkaba, it's pronounced Merkaba or Merkaba. Mer meaning rotating fields of light, and Ka meaning spirit, and Ba meaning soul. So this would be the crystalline form of the Archangel, who is Gabriel, the Archangel of water. Now stay tuned, because we're going to give you a meditation at the end of this transmission regarding this Merkaba field that is the Archangel Gabriel. We're going to give that to you and go through that, a little initiatory beginning phase for you. And then we're also going to give you, stay tuned also, because we're going to give you a runestone that we've gotten for you this month, that we pulled for you to see, just to see exactly what might be in the works that, might not be necessarily always seen in every secured facet of nature. Sometimes God throws a little chaos in there just to allow you to have a little fun. We don't want too much, but a little is good. So anyway, we're going to have that for you at the end as well. All right, now we're going to get into your angelic horoscope transmission from your Pisces zodiac teaching angel, who is Omnitziel, who resides over the fish's mutable water nature. And these are his messages for you now in love, money, and your health. For Omnitziel's love transmission, with the help of the Archangel, who is Gabriel. Now, you have to pick your poison when it comes to love and romance this month, Pisces. Yes, it's all about the lesser of two evils, and right about now, you desire the worst of the two due to the excitement that these evildoers and offspring of the devil bring to the table. Keep in mind that these thrilling types of proposals are certain to be forthcoming, providing the most heart-rending of offerings of love imaginable. So it's sort of a time when people will rend their coats and cast ashes upon their heads and scream and cry and yell and get all upset. It's a very emotional time. it's kind of like Heathcliff on the moors. People aren't really looking for cheerful, happy-go-lucky right now in love and romance. So right now they want someone who will tear their heart out for somebody else, or they want to tear their heart out for somebody else. It's all very melodramatic. Just try to keep it theatrical and ixnay on actually people, doing things that are going to be harmful to themselves or others. Not a good idea. So again, keep it more theatrical. And be very careful of prompting other people to injure themselves or others because you're trying to make people all very excited about things. Oftentimes this is done by various types of institutions, governmental institutions or politicians or whatever, or religious organizations. People do all kinds of things, or even just cooperations for sales pitches. They will just get everybody all wound up and all hyped up for the purpose of sales or points or whatever people are trying to do. But in the end, they cause people to not only injure others, but injure themselves or both. This is what you do not want to do, because where this may have been allowed and overlooked in the past as, oh, well, that's just business, or that's just, all's fair in love and war, and all these types of sayings, you're going to be held responsible for what you kind of prod other people to do. So be very careful about what you're prodding other people to do, because this is going to now be taken extremely seriously, okay? All right, now Nitziel's money transmission. Intellectual competition is the nature of the game this month for financial gain and business opportunities. Now, no good deed goes unpunished, as the old saying goes, and that is the chanting that's coming to you from the past, reminding you of the most accurate and proverbial cliche the devil has to offer you yet. So the devil will tell you, he'll give you a double mind, the devil will tell you that no good deed goes unpunished. And it's true. Because when you do something nice for someone, most people don't feel good about themselves deep down inside, because they know their sin nature. So therefore, when a person doesn't feel good about themselves, they will become almost antagonistic towards you if you flatter them, or if you like them, or if you sincerely like them or love them. They will oftentimes want to hurt you, because they'll say, how can you love me when they know their inner sinful nature, and we are to hate the sin and not the sinner, but indeed we become sin, do we not, whenever we become like the crucified Christ. Now we're going to get into that a little more later in the transmission when we talk about the risen Christ versus the crucified Christ, Osiris slain and risen, and also whether or not you are in the position of time, future and past, or whether you're in the eternal now. We'll get into that when we get into the Merkaba meditation. Now, intellectual competition. Again, this is why all this is happening. And people are often talking about old wives' tales, that are silly or whatnot. Oh, that's just an old wives' tale. Well, what you need to understand is that old wives' tales are turning out to be quite true at the end of the day, especially when it comes to your cash monies. Okay? So just be aware that a lot of things that people say is stupid and silly, it comes back around that then doctors begin to prescribe things that your old mom told you about a long time ago. So that's just what comes around goes around, and vice versa. So now from Nitziel's health transmission. Now, prevention of disorder and disease is all the rage this month, and no doubt for the rest of the year. There's no need to fix something that just ain't broke. With your organizational skills, You will be sought after for advice, Pisces, in the areas of health as well as the avoidance of illness. So make sure that you try to stay on the preventative side. Now for this month's lucky runestone prediction, we have gotten and pulled the runestone of Othala for you. It's Othala. But this is reversed. So gain strength from the hoarding and greed of others, as well as achieving support from the unbalanced racism of others, is the caveat of opportunity when this runestone presents in a reversed position. So we might have just shown it to you right side up, but this runestone, the way it came up was reversed. It does look like a fish. Isn't that interesting? Turn it on its side, it looks like a fish. But anyway, it came up reversed. So we were just trying to let you have the healing of, this is made out of rose quartz and it's inlaid with gold. But this is when it's right side up. It looks like the fish's head is up. And when it's reversed, it's like the tail is up. So this is how it came up. And that's Othala reversed. All right. Now, a disclaimer is in order here. High magic can be dangerous. This is intended exclusively for entertainment purposes. All right. Now, we're going to get now into the Merkaba technique that we promised that we'd go over with you, and we're going to get into the information about Osiris slain and risen. That's Christ slain and risen. You know, the corn god who's on the cross killed. It's the vegetation god, basically. So we have here the crystalline form of the Merkaba field of Gabriel, the Archangel of water, and all the water signs. And you would chant for the eternal now, for the resurrected Christ, I believe. That would be, I believe. I believe. You would chant it in that manner. Now, if you want to instead have this be about the crucified Christ, then you would chant believing, believing, and you would be able to look at this and you would burn it into your mind. Okay? You want to burn it into your mind, and you want to be able to call it up when you close your eyes. All right? And next time we're going to teach you how to spin it properly, because there's ways that you spin Merkaba fields to activate them. This is a very high magic practice. It can get get you in the higher spiritual levels. So you need to stay in a position where you can just drink a lot of fluids. That'll help it might create some difficulties. So you might want to go ahead and drink a lot of liquids to clear out your system when you do these types of Merkaba or Merkaba techniques. Now, when you're chanting I believe, that's the eternal now, where the resurrected Christ, there is no future or past. You're in the eternal, still moment of now. Now, some people want to have a more progressive aspect, like when you have the computers in a science fiction movie saying working. It's like believing. It's a progressive format. So that in that believing, you're creating a future and a past. You're creating a future that you fear and a past that you regret. And the crucified Christ is the crucified moment that you cannot enjoy because you've created a future and a past. You are then in time. And time is the great enemy, the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. That is indeed the Nefesh, the serpent, who is Christ, the Alpha and the Omega, right? The awakened one, the anointed one. So what you want to do is pick the one that makes you feel well. Not good or bad, what makes you feel well. Everything has a place. Everything has a time. Everything has a place. There's a time to throw stones, a time to gather stones. There's a time for everything, a time to be born, a time to die. So when you're in the eternal now, you don't have to deal with those issues. You're more still. So whichever one suits you best at this time is what you should do. And only you can decide which is better for you. Okay, we'll go into some of these techniques next time. Now, just a caveat here. Just remember that when God told Moses his name, with the burning bush, when it was not consumed, he said, Eheye Asher Eheye, I am becoming that I am becoming. So God was using the progressive, creating a future and a past. thus creating the Christ figure, the serpent of the Christ, which is the beginning and the end, the head and the tail. All right, now for the ephemeris information calculations for Eastern and Greenwich Mean Time. For Eastern Time, Eastern Daylight Time, the new moon on the 7th of April 2016 at 7:24 a.m., 18 degrees Aries, 4 minutes. The full moon on the 22nd of April 2016, that is Earth Day, and that's 1:24 a.m. at 2 degrees Scorpio, 30 minutes. Now for London Time, Greenwich Mean Time, we have the new moon on the 7th of April 2016 at 11:24 a.m. at 18 degrees Aries, 4 minutes. The full moon on the 22nd of April 2016, that's Earth Day, 5:25 a.m. at 2 degrees Scorpio and 31 minutes. Thank you for joining us, Pisces. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Join us again next month.